Okay, for Yolanda. So, in general, any photograph you see, even this banner on this page, you can right click. You can copy the image and place it into some sort of software like this, edit paste. That's a copy paste. See how now it's in here. But you want to save something, you can do the same thing with any image you find anywhere on the internet. I mean, literally almost any graphic. If you search for Toyota and you see a picture, I'll go to images here. Like, oh, I need to print this, and you go here. You can go copy that image and paste it into somewhere, but if you want to save it, you're going to right click and save image as. And see, right now it's defaulted to my downloads folder. Now, if you've gone and saved something recently, it might be in that folder, but basically it's going to default to this folder here, and that's here, downloads. And so I can tell it to save. It's just called download right now, but I can say I want to say name it Toyota logo, and that's in a PNG format, which is a format all computers can read and that we can print. So for right now, I'm going to just click save, and there it is. Now you'll see down here in Chrome it's showing that it's there, so that means it's done. If it's not, it'll have a little flashing wheel if it's a bigger file. And you can click on this arrow and you can say open it, or you can show it in the folder, and that'll take you to the downloads folder where all your images are saved. If you can't remember where they went, up in the top of Chrome in this upper corner, these three dots below the X, you can click on that and then go down to downloads right here. When you click that, it's going to give you a list of the last things that you've downloaded and where to find them by clicking show in the folder, or you can click on the blue. Anything that's blue and underlined is a hyperlink, which means when you click it, something's going to happen, whether it be opening it or downloading or something like that. So if I go back down here to this folder and I go to my downloads, it's usually along the side there's some quick folders, and usually desktop and downloads and stuff like that are here. It's not going to be in pictures unless you tell it to, but like if you plug in a digital camera or your phone and it asks you to back up pictures, it'll often go there. You just have to pay attention when you plug stuff like that in, or when you download something, where you're putting it. But you can always go for a search for it. Up here you can search your videos, or you can go to downloads and click in this little box here in the upper right hand side of this. And if I want to go and search for Toyota, you see there it is. It finds it for you. So now this little icon is saying it's going to open in that program. I have a program called FINDIND, that's its logo. But if I right click, I can say open with. And so you do a lot of stuff from here. You can cut it, which will delete it from here, and you can paste it somewhere else if you want to move it. Copy it will keep it here, but also make a copy in your clipboard where you can paste it into another folder. So you make a copy that you did. This is rename, or you can just type in, maybe you spelled this Toyota wrong, or you've got two Toyota logos, you want to name one Toyota 2 or something like that. You can share, which will give you options to email it and that kind of stuff. I don't really set any up, but those are that kind of thing. But you can go to open with and choose the program you want to open with. And this one is just Microsoft and Paint. Um, and so it's Photos. Photos is just sort of, take a look at it without opening anything and doing anything major. But that's kind of it for just downloading something. And then if you want to, like, say I've downloaded stuff into different folders, I've got like my web store here, and I have my design assets, and then I make folders for different stuff. So here I have my tumblers. They're alphabetical, and I've got, let's see, sea creatures and sea turtles. If you don't see a view like this up at the top of everyone, there's different types of views. You can go to tiles, and then there's a list, which probably will come up when you see most of them. But if you want to see a preview, you can go to a large or extra large icons. And if they're a photograph that you can read, they'll show up like this. So this tells me that it's a PSD. Well, no, I've named it something to do with this. Is something to do with Photoshop. So this one is actually a PSD. It's a when you hover over it, your mouse, it'll tell you what kind of file it is. PSD is Photoshop. This one is a PNG. PNGs. Yeah, these are all PNGs. So I just named this is a 20-ounce tumbler and a 30-ounce tumbler, and so you can double click it and open it in whatever you want to. Now, what I do to print. I've got several pieces of software, but if I'm on the go or if I don't want to go through software, I go to Photopea, photopea.com. Oops, I spelled it wrong. So photopea.com. You'll see the name pop up here. It's photo with Pia. I think it might be Photopea, but I don't know. I just call it Photopea because people can usually spell it right. And so here you can start a new project. They've got templates if you wanted to do something from scratch. But also you can open I go to open from on my computer. It's going to open up that same sort of window, and I would go back to my library, and that was my web store or your downloads. You'd go up here to downloads, and my web store, and I've got my design assets. Once again, sorry this is taking so long. It is a try to keep organized, and it is a lot of clicks to get to stuff, but at least I know where they are. Sometimes it takes me a few to get through. I was trying to rename it there, so I'll go back and see turtles. And I'll take this 20 ounce. So I know that I like my tumblers to be 9.3 by 8.2. So 9.3 wide and 8.2 tall. So with that clicked on there, this is the layers panel that shows you what I've got selected. And right now I've only got the one layer. But what I'm going to do is go to this little thing right here, properties, these sliders, or you can go up to Windows at the top of this Photopea, and you go to what properties is checked. So I guess that's why it's right there. So I'm going to click properties, and when I click on that image, you see right here, this is telling me that this is 9.5 by 8.3, so that's all wrong for me. I don't want to print it that way. So what I'm going to do is go up here to image, and I'm going to go to image size, and this is in pixels. I don't want it to be, I want to go to inches, so I'm going to go to that drop down. Now right here is a little lock. It looks like a chain, and if it's not dark, that's when it's on, and this is when it's off. So when it's off, that means that you can change the width or the height separately. If I can have that selected and I add an inch to the width, it's going to add an inch to the height at the same time. We call that the aspect ratio. That keeps it looking the same no matter how big, like won't get stretched out, like the turtle won't get tall, real skinny or something like that. So, but in this case, I want to do that because I need to get it exact. So I'm gonna turn off that lock, and I'm gonna make my width 9.3 because that's the distance around the tumbler. If you take a soft seamstress tape measure and wrap it around, you get 9.3 inches. Mostly on the 20-ounce skinny tumblers, they're straight, and then they're 8.2 tall. If you roll that paper up and stick the tube on there, it'll hit the table, and 8.2 will be right at the top. So I'm going to do 8.2 on the height. So 9.3 and 8.2. Okay, and then we hit OK. And so now, when I click on my image in properties, it's 9.3 by 8.2, and that's good. That's what I want. So now I'm going to go up here to File, and you can either save this for later. I would save it anyways, just so you can go and print it later and you don't have to change the size again. So when you click Save, it's going to be kind of like, it's going to ask you if it's okay to save the changes. You can say yes. And when you open up this website again, it'll come back. If you want to go and know exactly where it is, you can go save this PSD to storage, or you can export it. If you want to just do it as a PNG, that's probably your best bet. So go to export as a PNG, and then you can go and give it a name. It says in inches, so it's the right size. And I'm just going to give it a name like turtle right size. And I'll say 20 ounce, 20 OZ. And then I'm going to say, I'm going to keep the quality at 100% and hit save. And it just gave you that same dialog. And so now I can say where I want to put it. So if you want to just keep it all in your downloads folder for now until you get a lot of stuff, I go in every couple weeks and organize things and delete stuff that I need to. But you just pick over any old place where you want to put it, give it a name. If you need to make a new folder, you can click this new folder and it'll open up a blank one, and you can type it right, name it, and you can say turtle designs or something like that. And I'll just delete this later. And then when you hit enter or click on it, and now this is the empty folder, and you can go ahead and it's called, here's the name again, and it's a PNG. You hit save, and it'll be right there waiting for you when you want to use it again. But to print, you go up to file, and you're just going to click print. And you're going to get this little dialog that comes up again. It's going to keep going away from inches, but go back to inches and make sure, and you got your quality. You don't want to add any margins or anything. And then right here, you'll see there's a little printer. You click on that little guy. And I use Sawgrass Print Manager, but up here you'll have your different printers that you've got in your house set up. If you don't see it there, make sure you click see more, and it'll give you like a longer list. And that's pretty much it. You just click on the one that you want to print from, and when you hit print, it'll either start printing, or like in my case, it's going to open up a print manager for Sawgrass. Or you might get, if you have an Epson printer or something, it might pop up another thing with the Epson where you choose your your paper style, or glossy or high or whatever, however you have that set up. But this is the best way I found to print for people that don't want to install any software or buy anything special, and it works just fine. It's a good little piece of software. Just later on you can go in here and play around, but like, it's got text. I'm going to go and say like nice and big so we can see it. And then this is your color. So if I want to put some white text on here, and then I click that little text tool there, and it's going to give me a little cursor. And I'm going to turn my caps lock on and type turtle. And you can do that, and you can go up and change, you'd have to select the font like by double click on it. And you can go up here to the different fonts, and you get a little preview here, but you click on it, and it'll take a second, but it'll change that font for you. And if you go back up to that same tool, the move tool over here at the top left, you can end up using this a whole lot. You get these little blocks here, and you can drag that and make it bigger and move it around where you want to. Over here, if I close this panel, this properties panel, this layers right here just shows you I've got my turtle layer on top. If I pull that down underneath, now it's gone. It's still there, but it's just hiding behind the turtle. So we want to make sure it's on the top layer so I can see it. And it's not moving for me. There it is. And so you can change the colors and stuff like that. And then if you mess something up, hold down Control and hit the Z key. That just undid the last thing I did. Or you can go up to in the menu here, you can go Edit, Undo, or Redo, and that'll help you fix anything that you messed up. You can step forward or step backwards in time. And that's pretty much it. If you want to zoom in, I hold down the Alt key, and roll my mouse wheel forward, and that zooms in and out. If you have a mouse wheel, you can hold the center of the mouse wheel, and then push it around, the mouse around. If you don't have that click in the mouse wheel, you can hold the space bar down and just use your left click, hold that down, and kind of drag the image around. And then a combination of that and zooming in and out with the wheel, holding down the Alt key, and that'll zoom in and out with the rolling the wheel. And if you don't want to do that, you can use this little magnifying glass. You click, it'll go in, and you see how it says plus there. There's a plus on there. over at the top left up here is a minus, and you could do that. You can do it like that, or you can hit fit to area, and that'll just bring it back to a view where you can see everything. But it's not terribly hard. I mean, there's some shapes here and stuff like that. You can draw shapes and go, and here's the color again. See, Ellen, like if you have the color selector up here, you can go and these little turn into crosshairs and say I want to pick one of the colors off the turtle or something, or maybe this coral down here like this orange, and it's going to click that and turn it that color. So that's just a neat thing you can do. And if you want to get into it like seriously later, there's lots of stuff, lots of videos on the internet, and you can just get creative and draw things and that kind of thing with your brush. I won't get into all that now, but hopefully that helps you out a little bit and get you started on at least saving your files and maybe printing something. Okay, you have a good night, Yolanda. I'll talk to you later.